Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our podcast, Two Girls with Cancer. I am here with Miss Ashley, and I am your host,
Hello.
Becky. Hi, how's it going?
Good. How are you? We're doing it different today.
Yeah, we're doing it different, and I do notice that there's a bit of a time delay here. So, for anyone watching, if you see a long gap between, it's not because we're thinking. Excuse me. It's
Yeah.
because of the time delay. So I don't know why. I've been fine. I've been talking for the last 4 hours, and now I'm coughing. Now that we're live. So
Right.
yeah, Ash and I are trying it where she's at her house and I'm at my house. Just simply because why not? We got a program, we're
Right.
trying it out.
There's
It makes it
there's gonna be
a lot less
days where
pressure. Yeah, I just
right
don't
don't
feel
want to
good.
get out of bed, don't want to
Hmm.
fully clothe.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even have pants on. Like,
Perfect. I love it.
I was thinking when I stood up to leave the room, I'm like, oh, did anyone see that? But no, it's fine.
No,
I don't think you saw it. I think the camera
no,
cuts off right
I
here.
wasn't. Yeah. Perfect.
So today this is sort of a what's the word I'm looking for? Like we weren't planning to do this, so we just recorded an episode. Ashley and I, we had a guest, Brian Snow, a dear friend of ours who is a stage 4 pancreatic cancer survivor. And unfortunately, through our live stream, it wasn't even pre-recorded. Through our live stream, we had some very negative comments happening on the post from, well, I'm not even going to give this person the acknowledgement. But it kind of just threw Ashley and I off our game, and we thought, you know what, like we want to be able to still have recording done to post for you, but it isn't us being like, what the heck is this guy doing? Why is this guy not,
Right.
But I will say
It's
for
just
anybody, well,
sad.
it is very sad because, like, at the end of the day, you and I are here to talk about cancer and what we've been through and how people can try and help make themselves better. And, people
And
have
not
to
someone
come
we
in with
don't even
their,
know.
yeah, literally a person that we don't even know, a troll. That's where they come with the word troll. Like, it's
Right?
so appropriate in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I don't even want to, like, give this guy the
Yeah.
time of day because he doesn't deserve it. And we just think we're very thankful for the people who are here to listen to what we actually have to say
Mm-hmm.
and are here for
Right?
the cancer advice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I will say, though,
And
for
support.
anyone who hasn't watched that episode or will not watch that, like I said, we did our interview with Brian Snow. He is a podcaster as well. He's a fellow podcaster. He has a sports show every single day. So go check that out. He also has another show called Diary of a Mad Snowman where he is more candid and talks more about what he's going through. But like realistically, unless you're a Joe Rogan type, we're not getting paid for this, right? Like
No.
this isn't a money maker. And for someone like Brian, he's in his 50s, he's married, he has kids, he's not able to work, he's not able to provide for his family. So he does have a GoFundMe that we are blasting everywhere that we want people to donate to, because to be a cancer patient and try to pay your bills alone is hard, but to be the head of your house, the man of the house and the dad, the husband, and like not be able to provide for your family because you have a life-threatening disease, it's so tough. And so we would just really encourage anybody to, send $20 to Brian on his GoFundMe, and it would just help him out so much. I know, like, we were both so blessed in the beginning of this journey with people who wanted to donate to us. So today, just as a precursor into that, we're talking about things that people can do for your friends with cancer or for someone you know with cancer. And I think I'm going to title the episode, like, Where Did You Go? Because I think that's fairly appropriate. What did you say?
Well, a lot of people, once you're out of like that heat, that crazy part of the journey, even whether that's friends, co-workers, they're like, oh, well, you don't have cancer anymore. You're fine. Then it just kind of trickles away, and it's like, but it doesn't, for us, the support is still needed. I know that, I struggle still every single day,
Every day. Every time I
Every
look at
day.
my naked body, I struggle. Go on.
Standing in front of the mirror, looking naked, seeing
Yeah.
scars, or when my stomach
Hmm.
blows up, you losing a breast.
Hmm.
It's hard already. Like I
Yeah.
struggled because I was picked on in school because I have really skinny legs. So I was picked on my whole life. That's just my
Hmm.
genetics, and it affected me. And now I notice because I I've lost all my muscle mass, and I see it, and it just brings me back to that spot. And now looking at
Hmm.
my stomach with that scar, and when it swells up, it's hard. It's hard to
Hmm.
have this happy self imaging or confidence.
Yeah.
you know, it's a
Well, for me,
struggle.
like even boob aside, like I've put on so much weight since treatment ended,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought I was so blessed throughout treatment when everyone talked about this chemo weight gain. And I was like, well, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what you're going through. Like I lost weight. I was pretty excited, but it came, and just like it, and
Mm-hmm.
they said that it would come and that it would be very hard to get rid of. And that's so true. I've probably gained 25 pounds since chemo.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard on the body too,
It's
because
been like
that's not a
that.
reflection
Mm-hmm.
of who I was prior.
Mm-hmm.
Like 10 years ago, I actually had a weight loss surgery, and it wasn't even that heavy, to be honest. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I was like in such a bad mental headspace that
Mm-hmm.
at the time, it seemed like the only thing that I could do to lose the weight.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the weight loss surgery, and it changed my
Mm-hmm.
life. I lost like 75 pounds, and it's been
Mm-hmm.
like a slow like gain back over the last 10 years. But man,
Mm-hmm.
this last year, since October, since chemo ended, so these last like
Mm-hmm.
7, 8, 9 months or whatever, like putting on 25 pounds, like I just don't feel good. Like, I don't
Yeah.
feel good about
Mm-hmm.
myself looking like that. And I think, oh well, you're just being lazy, you're not working out, you're not eating properly. And then I'm like, back to that thing, like give yourself more grace because you've just been through a lot. But it's
Right?
hard.
Isn't it such a vicious cycle that we go through
Yeah.
mentally
Yeah.
with everything that we've had to go through? And that's like
Hmm.
the point I guess we're trying to say is don't abandon your friends, not just abandon, like check in on them, like give them
Yeah.
a
Well, it's
text.
hard enough to support ourselves sometimes, right? Like we can barely
Right?
support ourselves mentally. Like the last thing we need is our friends
Mhm.
to disappear.
And I feel bad because I can't be there, like who I
Yeah.
used to be for my
Yeah.
friends. It breaks me inside because I can't be that person anymore because it's
Mhm.
hard for me. It's just hard. It's
Yeah.
hard
Especially for
to,
someone so motherly.
right? And it's sad because I love to help. I love to heal. I love to
Yeah.
take care of, but I can't be that right now because I'm
Yeah.
myself. I've lost myself, and as
Hmm.
positive as a person as I am or as you are, it still affects us every day. That
Hmm.
journey is something that is scarred inside us, and it's never going to leave. That pain. It will
Yeah.
get easier as years
I
go
think we'll
on
deal with
and you're out
or
of
learn to cope with it in a different
that.
way, especially if we're doing
Mhm.
more work with, counselors, psychologists, and things
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah.
You learn better coping skills. But
Mhm.
I don't know if the pain ever goes away. I'm
Yeah.
not talking physical pain, I'm talking like
Mhm.
emotional pain. Like, does the pain, for anyone who's gone through cancer, we'd love
Oh.
to hear your perspective. Does it
Mhm.
ever go away?
Right.
Because
Because
if I
we're what
actually
about a
like,
year?
yeah, if I ever start to think about it, like I'm heartbroken that my body
Mhm.
went through this, or that just me
Mhm.
went through this. Like I think about some of the other things I've gone through in my life, and I've held it together, I've held it together, I've held it together, even though like bad situations just kept happening. And it was like,
Mhm.
did I need this too? Like I have friends who've never
Right.
had anything. They've never been divorced. They've never,
Right.
you know,
Same.
emotional ache to the point where they like hated their body. They've never struggled with their children. They've never
Mhm.
gone through anything. And it's like, I have all of these things.
Me
And
too. Right.
it's hard
Actually,
not to feel sorry for myself sometimes.
I remember. So when I was pregnant, I had the worst pregnancy. I was on bed
Same.
rest at 14 weeks,
Yeah.
preeclampsia, placenta previa. The only thing I
Oh
didn't
my
get was
gosh.
that high blood pressure. Like it was bad, and so I went to my one OB appointment, and this chick, she's huge, just bouncing around, happy as can be. And I was like, "How many months are you?" She's like, "I'm 8." I was like, "You seem really happy for 8 months," as I'm like dying. And she's like, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, my pregnancy's a breeze. I don't even feel like I'm pregnant." And I was like, Lucky. I wish I
I
knew,
know. I was the same
But
way. Like I mean, I didn't have preeclampsia or placenta previa or anything like that, but I had this horrible rash called pups, and it went from my
mm,
pubic bone all the way up above my belly button. And when you're pregnant, that's a big area. And it was
yeah.
the worst rash. It was in all my stretch marks. I was covered head to toe in stretch marks.
Mm,
And this rash, it looked like acne, like a
yeah.
million zits, and it was itchy. And I had to itch it
Mhm.
so much, like with a, or scratch it so much with a hairbrush that I've lost feeling in my stomach. And then, like I had
Yeah.
the emergency C sections. And then they said at one point, like I
Mhm.
had gestational
I did as well.
diabetes. And then I had the groupie strep. I had to be hooked up to the IV, and it was just like anything and
Mhm.
everything, like sciatic issues, anything that could happen in that
Yeah.
pregnancy, next to like being life threatening for my child. I had it. Where
Yeah.
like other people, yeah, they just fly through it like it's nothing.
Breeze through it. Yeah. But I think,
Yeah,
in a way, like everything that we've gone through, it makes us who we are now. And,
yeah, it
the
does.
growing that we do. Before I would have the anger where it's like, ugh, why? And something else.
Hmm.
Now when cancer came, I'm like, great. Can this be the last thing that I go through?
Add it to the
But I
pile.
do,
Yeah, right.
right? But I do feel like it's made me a stronger person in that
It
in a
has
way,
to.
even though, right, even though I still have dark times, like
Well,
where I
it either
just
molds you in a good
want
way or it molds you in a bad way. It's whatever you
to.
choose to let it do. Right? You can be
Hmm.
stronger from this, or
It's
you can
true.
let it take you. These are your choices.
Hmm. Yeah, literally,
But
you only have two.
it is it is tough some days thinking like, I'm the one who went through all this. I'm having a hard time with this.
Hmm.
Where are the people who aren't going through this? The people that I
Hmm.
once called my friend, or I loved them, or
Hmm.
whatever. I even struggle sometimes
Yeah.
too with my husband. He's an absolute angel, but like sometimes I'm like, did you go through this? No, so shut up. And I know that's
Yeah.
not fair because like as my
Yeah.
primary caregiver and my support person, like he's just doing what
Hmm.
he can. But it's like, when we
Hmm.
have issues come up and he's like, I feel like you're not being a certain way. And I'm like, like shut up,
Mm.
Nick. Like,
Yeah,
and
right.
it's not fair to him. But then again,
Hmm.
like for people who we were friends with, well, we've talked about this before, how you've lost many friends
Hmm.
or chosen to
Hmm.
end relationships over this.
Yep.
It's like, and lately I've had a lot of people reach out to me saying like, I'm so sorry I wasn't there for you during this. I
Hmm.
didn't know what to say. And so, yeah,
Yep.
we were talking about this on our interview with Brian about people who do this.
Hmm.
And we just thought like this episode could be about that. It's not going to be a long episode. We're going to be 30 minutes like where you normally try to. And
Hmm.
it's not going to be like a pointing our fingers at people being like, you needed to be like that. No,
Yeah.
it's nothing like that at all. We're just giving like helpful tips for, if you
Advice.
have someone who's going through cancer or
Hmm.
anything, how you can show
Hmm.
up for them.
Hmm.
What would
And it
you
doesn't
say
have
is
to
your
be a
like,
daily thing,
no,
you
gosh,
know?
no, you don't have to be at their
You know?
house. Like, what would you say, like,
Yeah.
when you were going through the heat of this and you were like at your most lonely, what did you wish that people were doing and saying?
Just a text message, just to open my phone and see that there
Mhm.
was a message from somebody.
Mhm.
How are you today? Is there anything like, and if someone asks me, is there anything I need? I always say no,
Yeah, I
because
said no. Yeah,
I don't need
100%.
anything. I just need someone to, hi, how are you? If the
Yeah,
offer's
I'm thinking
there,
about you.
that, right? That's what means the most, is that they
Hmm.
actually genuinely care. It's like
Hmm.
sometimes I'm like, when I was going through that crazy stuff with all those people and some things else, like, why am I even still here? And it's like, would
Hmm.
they have just been happier if I was gone? And that's an
Right.
awful thing to say, but it's like,
How do
did
you
it
not go
even
down that
matter?
way? Yeah,
Like,
right.
and it's
Well, then you
sad
wonder
because
too.
yeah,
No, you go on. I will finish my thought
no, you
after.
go ahead. I don't need,
Well, I was
mine's
just
gone.
gonna say, like, when you have a situation with a friend where they've like disappeared now that you're sick, it's like you wonder,
Hmm.
did my relationship with them ever even actually matter?
Right.
Like,
Hmm.
was I nothing to them? And it's really hard not to be in a negative headspace when you think of
Hmm.
that. I tried to blow it off like they got their stuff,
Hmm.
but it's just
Hmm.
like, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to say that cancer's worse. I'm not. Like, everyone has their own battles, but I mean, like, if you're going through like, I don't know, some fighting with your boyfriend, but like I'm dying, like please reach out and see how I'm doing. That's how I felt.
Right?
And maybe that's selfish of me. I don't know.
No, I think anybody in a terminal sickness or cancer or, kidney failure or, the big ones that
Mm-hmm.
consume you every single day, it's a lonely journey. Like my best friend, we talk about how lonely because she had a kidney transplants.
Mm.
She's been sick off and on, and she's the most amazing woman I've ever met in my life. But it's like she also has said it's such a lonely journey
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, are we not fun anymore? We can't do those fun things or go
Right.
out or have energy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like you do get forgotten. Or a
Yeah,
lot of people is like,
I do
well, I
think
know
so.
that you can't go do anything, so that's why you don't get invited. And it's like, I
Jeez.
know that I suck because I have no energy, and I love my bed, I love my sleep, my
Yeah,
body
right.
needs it.
At
But an
least put
invites
the
to things
invite
are
out,
nice.
right? Well, I surfed the web here looking at like how
Mhm,
people can help support their friends with cancer. And I came across
mhm,
one website on the MD Anderson Cancer Center page, and it gave a list of
mhm,
17 different things that they suggest how you, a healthy person, can support
mhm,
me, a sick person. That's, for example.
mhm.
And I don't know if I agree with all of them, but I'll read them to you and I'd love to hear your thoughts
Yep.
on them. So,
Mhm.
the number one thing that they say, deliver meals. What do you think
Yep.
about that? I mean,
I actually
you.
had So two of my girlfriends from Medicine Hat actually drove down here and
Mhm,
meal prepped food
mhm,
frozen, like, and I live in a house with my sister and her husband and my son, and like, you know it was so amazing because we could just pop it in the oven and go. You know
mhm,
what I mean? Like, there were frozen
mhm.
meals. Oh, it does actually make a difference because
It does.
my oldest sister, she got me a gift card for, like, I forget the company, but they were already pre-made meals because I didn't
Mm,
have no energy to cook, and I didn't want to
right.
depend on other people. Like, I was grateful that I
100%.
was able to have those.
In the early stages, because I didn't feel sick and because I went to Mexico and it boosted
Mm-hmm.
my immune system and I looked and felt better than ever, I kept turning down meals. I had a lot of people from
Mm-hmm.
church saying, "Hey, can we bring you
Mm-hmm.
some food? The ladies want to organize,
Mm-hmm.
whatever." And I was like, "I don't need it. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
capable." And at the time, I was on
Mm-hmm.
such a strict diet too. It was like
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Not even thinking like, "Oh yeah, I also have a family," but
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just thinking like, save it for when I really need it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's through chemo or through surgery. Well, at the time, I had no intention of doing any of those things, so I just thought, no, I don't need it. But
Mm-hmm.
looking back, like, yeah, why didn't people wanted to help, and that was their way of reaching out. So like, I should have accepted it. Another
Yeah.
one,
Right.
help keep their household running. This one was interesting. So it says cook, clean, mow the lawn, do the laundry, wash dishes, make sure their bills get paid on time, get the kids dressed for school, walk the dog, do all the things a person in cancer treatment would normally do if life was going
Mm-hmm.
on as normal. So yeah, again, like you and I are both too independent for our own good, and I'm sure that we
Mm-hmm.
both were like, I'm just gonna do it. And you were single, like you had to just do it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like get up,
Mm-hmm.
just I'm gonna do it, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna do it well. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to do it
Right.
most days.
No, I'm grateful because there's days where I couldn't get out of bed, and my mom, she stepped up. You know,
Hmm.
she would get my son fed, everything. He would come in my room and say hi to me quick, but I couldn't even, like, move my body. I'm
Hmm.
grateful that I had
You're
that
just
help.
like, yeah,
Oh, it
and
was well, and coming from such an independent woman to
hmm,
now a lifeless woman, the guilt that it plays on your mind,
yeah,
that's hard.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I still have guilt with everything. You know.
Hmm. We've talked about that. Try to release it. Try to let yourself
Mhm.
off of that
Mhm.
because you've done everything that you could. You could have sat back and
Yep.
died, but you didn't. You fought for your son, and if
Yep.
that meant missing some time with him, so be it.
3 surgeries in 8 months for me on my side with my journey,
Hmm.
that has destroyed my body. Like, and
Hmm.
it's what do? You gotta keep pushing forward.
You
Will
do.
never be the person I was before. My body will never be. I've Since January, I've pooped myself 7 times. Like, I can't help it. That's just how it goes now.
This
It's
is your
gotten
new
better.
normal. Ashley,
Yeah.
I wear a diaper, Lacoste. That's your new name.
I should actually get some. It's
Yeah,
not
you
like
should.
bad, but it's like, I have to wear liners now because I don't know what's going to happen. And it's like, if I let that
That's humbling.
consume me,
Yeah,
it is what it is. If I let that
totally.
consume me, I would never leave my house.
Well, especially as someone who's like so beautiful and used to having so much male attention, and then now you're like, by the way, I poop my
In my old
pants.
days, now it's like
Like
I shit
that is
myself,
so humbling. Oh my
right?
gosh, I love that you have joy about it though. Like you find it
Well,
funny.
I
I mean,
mean,
laugh
what
if
am
you
I
don't laugh, you're
supposed to
crying,
do?
right? Yeah,
Right? It's
exactly.
like I need to go to the bathroom now, or
Or
we're
in my
gonna
pants.
have
Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
Or an accident.
yeah.
Okay, another one it suggests is giving the primary caregiver a break. So in your case, your mom or your sister was your
Mm-hmm.
primary. My husband was my primary. So a friend could
Mm-hmm.
come in and say, "Go, go do your thing. Go hang out with friends. Go to wherever. Go shopping. I
Mm-hmm.
got this." And quite
Mm-hmm.
often the primary caregiver role isn't doing anything. It's hanging out with you, or it's
Mm-hmm.
bringing you a drink or grabbing your lunch
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. So
Yeah,
yeah,
quick
that's
coffee.
probably huge because your caregiver can't give you the best attention when they're burnt out. This is
Mm-hmm.
why I need to have more grace for my sweet husband because I'm so hard on him. And then I
Right.
forget that he like just had to take care of me for the last year.
Yeah.
Another one they suggest is driving patients to and from appointments.
Mm-hmm.
I always had a friend with me, whether that be
Me too.
Andrew or my mom or my friends at
Mm-hmm.
chemo. I always had that. I didn't need him at appointments, but I wanted to just go alone. And Andrew told me, no, you shouldn't
Support.
have to. He's
Yeah.
like, you shouldn't have to do these appointments alone. I said, yeah, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
care. Like, I can just go to my MRI alone. And he's
Mm-hmm.
like, I know you can, but you're not going to.
Mm-hmm.
So he always made
Mm-hmm.
sure
It's
that
good to
somebody
have
was with
someone
me.
there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then it says to further that, take notes during appointments. So I would never
Mm-hmm.
even think of that. Have somebody,
No.
write down what the doctor's saying so that we can reflect
Mm-hmm.
on it. I like to think that I have a fairly good memory, so maybe I didn't think I needed that, but I don't know.
I
I guess
don't.
I'm
I
picturing,
don't remember half
yeah,
the
yeah,
stuff
you
they
need
said.
someone to write it down. Yeah, for sure. Like
Yeah.
at your first appointment
Or
with Dr.
record.
Greg, I'm like remembering all of it. And I'm like, I was
No,
actually
you
thinking,
were
man, I
there.
should write this down.
Right.
The next one is visit. Just simply hang out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a
Mm-hmm.
huge one. I would say that one should be number one. Just hang out.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need you to say much. They don't need you to do anything for them.
Mm-hmm.
Hang out.
Watch a
If you
movie.
want to chat, chat. If not, you want to lay on the couch and watch shows with me.
Mm-hmm. Just the
Okay.
presence of someone there for you, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Oh
if
yeah,
needed.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Take
Mm-hmm.
care of their children. So I mean, it doesn't have to be
Mm-hmm.
a long time, but if they need help with their homework or they need to go to school or their
Mm-hmm.
sports or whatever, and you, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure, can attest to how important that was.
Mm-hmm. Very.
Yeah.
my
Make their
sisters,
living.
my sisters were good with
Yeah.
that.
Oh, I bet.
With
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Make their living space comfortable. So it says patients who travel out of town for treatment may have temporary living accommodations. Consider bringing the patient's bed and sheets and pillows. So that wasn't a reality for us, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure everyone accommodated. Like Andrew was definitely used to me having a pillow
Mm-hmm.
and a blanket out on the
Mm-hmm.
couch all the time. If I needed more
Yep.
pillows, you'd go grab them, and I'm sure same for
Mm-hmm.
you.
Right. Oh yeah. I actually brought back my pregnancy pillow.
Oh, I've
The
heard
big.
this is
Yeah.
good after surgeries.
Yeah.
Like everyone's saying getting a
Yeah.
mastectomy pillow, which is basically like a pregnancy pillow. I never had it,
Mm-hmm.
but that would have been awesome.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Another one is
Mm-hmm.
give a self-care gift bag. So I
Oh,
love
that's
that.
a good
Like
idea.
even just like literally candy. Like I know we're not supposed to have sugar ever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone is not supposed to have sugar, but like
Mm-hmm.
just like a little bag of sour candies would have just made my day.
Right.
You know?
I love the. I love the. What are the adult drawing books? Those ones.
Oh
I like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Yeah.
saying things
I mean,
like fuzzy socks, lip balm,
yeah.
lotion.
A candle.
Yeah, I would never
Mm-hmm.
think of that, but that's a great idea.
Mm-hmm. right? Just
This one we've talked
it's
about.
actually like a care package, right? That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's actually a really good one. Yeah. I
That
had
is a good
gotten
one.
one when I was pregnant by a friend, and that made my day.
This
Mm.
made your day. Yeah. It's just like
Yeah.
someone thought about me enough to think that I
Mm-hmm.
wanted that, or like I needed that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I needed
Yeah,
to,
they went out of their
have a
way
sweet
and
treat, or
yeah,
yeah,
to put a
that's so
smile on your
thoughtful.
face, and they cared for you. It
Mm-hmm.
actually it warms your heart. The difference
Yeah,
that it will
it
make
does.
on somebody, it could be night and day for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the next one I think is a huge one. It says stay connected. Text, email,
Yeah,
phone
that's
call.
yeah.
I like, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest, I hate when people
Biggest thing.
call me. Like,
Yeah,
but
no, I'm
it's
I'm
like,
a taker.
especially when I'm not feeling good, or I'm really tired, and
Mm-hmm.
especially during treatment, like I don't want to talk. My tongue hurts.
No.
It's raw all the time. Like I don't want to talk on
Mm-hmm.
the phone, but like send me a text. Let me know you're thinking of me. Yeah,
Right.
I think I don't. People don't realize, like,
Mm-hmm.
well, we said it before. People don't know what to say. They feel like they're gonna offend you, hurt your feelings. They're walking on
Mm-hmm.
eggshells. No, like, hi, how are you
Mm-mm.
feeling today?
That's
And
it.
maybe they've had
Even if
bad
it's a hi, how are
experiences.
you, and then
Yeah,
nothing
or
else,
hi,
that's fine.
here's a funny meme I saw today,
Yeah.
or this made me think of
Yeah.
you, or something. Like, it doesn't have to be a lot. It doesn't have to be a full blown conversation. Just a
Mm-hmm.
hi, just so you know I'm thinking about you. I try to do that when I'm reaching out to people, instead of being like, hi, how are you, and trying to lead them into it, because I know that sometimes you just don't have it in
Mm-hmm.
you. It's more like,
Mm-hmm.
hi, just wanted you to know I'm thinking of you.
Right. Like I have this one friend at work, and he had told me that when I got sick, he wanted to send me funny memes and
Hmm.
to, bring laughter. And still to this
Hmm.
day, he does. And, it's so special because
Oh,
I
I love
haven't
that.
been at work since February 15th, and I get funny memes from him all the time. And it brightens my day because, like, he still thinks about me, even though I haven't been
Hmm.
there, you know? It's
Hmm.
like, just to be able to have that support, even if it's just to laugh at a silly dog video, it's
Hmm.
still bringing laughter and light into my life.
Hmm.
And it's
Yeah,
really
and what a
important to have
difference it
them
makes.
because
It is.
it did,
It
you know.
it's super important to be positive and joyful. We say it all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but to have laughter,
Yep.
you're not
Mm-hmm.
taking, like, everything is so serious and so heavy when you're sick, that just,
Mm-hmm.
a moment of
That
laughing
little
where you're not
outlet.
thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't realize like
I don't.
what you're doing for somebody.
Right. And it's crazy to think because what we've gone through, I'm sure it's the same for you, but it's in my mind
Oh
every
yeah.
single day. Like,
Even
and
the last six
it's there.
months.
Yeah.
Since I got
It
the no
doesn't go
evidence
away.
of disease response, I feel it
Yeah.
every single day. Any
Same.
ache, any pain, anytime I'm tired, I'm like, could it be
Mm-hmm.
cancer again?
Mm-hmm.
It's constant. Or
Yeah.
you just went through this, you just had that, you almost died, you just had whatever. It's constant. It weighs
Mm-hmm.
on you. I think that's like the biggest contributor of brain fog,
Yeah.
honestly. It's not
Mm-hmm.
that my
Yeah.
brain isn't working, is that there's no room for new thoughts in my brain.
And our
Yeah.
brains actually change a bit in the way
Oh yeah.
it is,
There's
and you
rewiring
know.
once you go through trauma. Absolutely there is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Another
Yeah.
one, it says pray for or with the patient. You might not be a religious person, that's okay too, but it just says quite often this gives patients the courage to face another day. Like
Mm-hmm.
hearing people say like I'm praying for you, like that meant so much to
Mm-hmm.
me, because it was like
Mm-hmm.
you could be praying for anybody right now and you're taking the time to pray for me, and
Mm-hmm.
that I loved that.
Right.
Another one, and we've touched on this already, but sit with them and listen. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, you and I know that we have a lot to say always.
Right.
Like, I could talk forever about what I've just gone
Yeah.
through or what I'm currently going through. And like
Yeah.
sometimes you don't need somebody to chime in, right? I hate to be mean, but
Right.
I
Just
don't need
listen.
advice. Sometimes I just want to vent about what I'm
Mm-hmm.
going through, or tell you what I'm feeling right now. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's nice to also have their advice and have them chime in too.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you have to kind of
Yeah.
gauge that one, but
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah.
important.
Feel that one out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially if you're a person who's alone during your cancer treatment, or because of immune compromised,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, like you don't want to go out, or you're not seeing people, like that is a very lonely place
Mm-hmm.
to be. I don't personally recommend it. Like I was in chemo, I had no immune system, and I made sure I was out all the
Mm-hmm.
time, because I thought It was more important to fill my emotional and my love cup than it was to be scared of germs or be worried about germs. I mean, granted, I was on a bunch of vitamins at the same time, but
I didn't wear
yeah, this was
masks.
no, gosh, no, me neither.
They were
I
like,
mean,
"Aren't you worried about COVID?" It's like, I already have cancer. Come on.
like, I wasn't worried about it the first time. I'm certainly not worried about
Yeah,
it
me
now.
neither.
And we're laughing, but like people did that. This one says have
Like,
normal conversations. I think that one's so interesting. Like it says, remember that most cancer patients don't want to be treated differently because they have cancer.
yes.
Talk to your friend or loved one like you did before. This is what I would tell people when they, at the beginning, and people would reach out and they're like, I don't know what to say. Like, I feel awkward. I don't want to offend you. And I'm like, I am the same twisted, dark, sensitive person I always was, only now with a worse haircut. Like, with less food, right? Like, that was me. Like I didn't change. Yeah, like got some stuff going on, but I didn't change as a person. Like
Yeah.
mentally, I still find the same things pretty
Right?
funny.
Actually, I used to be more witty, more quick with my answers.
Well,
Now I'm like
faster.
very
Yeah,
trying to find it stuff,
yeah.
but like, but I'm still
I
the same
get that.
person. You
Yeah,
know?
totally. Like you and I will send each other dark stuff all the time. We have a good laugh about it,
Yeah.
a good like evil
Oh
laugh.
yeah.
We're like, oh man,
Right.
hopefully that never sees the light of day.
Right.
Yeah.
But
So
laughter is
it's probably not the same for everybody. Like there are probably people who do change in that sense, right? Like you and I've talked about this. We have both changed. Like who we were a year ago is not the same as now. But that doesn't mean every facet of us has changed. It means that parts of
right.
us have. Like what I find important has changed. You know, the people I want in my life has changed. But
Yep.
like my dark sense of
Setting
humor certainly has
boundaries.
not changed. Yes, boundaries. Letting people walk all over you has changed. Yes, I am getting
Yep.
there.
Yeah. Right.
Another thing that they recommend is plant a garden. I mean, we live in a place where you get
It's
like 4
cute.
months to do that and not 8 more of the year.
I guess
But
pick up a hobby or
yeah, I think maybe that's more it. Like
right.
to me, like gardening doesn't do it. Like I have a garden. It's nice to eat it's nice to see your work coming through, but like I don't enjoy it. There's no part of me that likes it. But if if you know someone who was a gardener before and now doesn't have the energy to go out and do it, they probably would
Yeah.
really value you tending to their garden or like
Mm-hmm.
planting stuff for them.
Right.
Right? I could see
Yeah.
that. It says it also produces healthy food options for the patients to eat. Yes, that's true. I planted a ton of kale, which I need to give you, by the way, a ton of kale and a lot of lettuce because I wanted to juice it all.
So. Like my brother-in-law, he's so awesome. He's such a good man. He just made my sister and I planters or the garden boxes.
Yeah.
So I haven't started it yet. Well, I'm probably too late in the season, but
I don't
go. Not a planter. I don't know
from
much
seed. I would buy already sprouted plants and then put those in instead of from seed because you won't get enough. But if you go with something fast like a lettuce or kale or something, like kale, the one I have in my garden that I gave you, it said it actually does better once it starts to get a frost. So you can have that one up until about October, maybe in November.
Wow.
So I'll show you which one I got.
Yeah, please. I need some.
Yeah.
Need some help.
Some green thumbing. I am definitely not. There's only 2 more on this list here. Surprise them with a fun afternoon out. That your friend might not have the energy for that, but I love that. It says if they're feeling well enough during treatment, consider taking them out for a date or do an activity they enjoy.
Love it.
Like if your friend is a golfer, it may not be possible to get to a golf course for 18 holes, but like go to a golf store and get some new golf gear, or go to the driving range and hit a few balls, or go to the putting green, like a
virtual. Yeah. That's yeah.
I love that. I think that is such a great idea. Again, your friend might not feel well enough to do any of that, but maybe they do. I don't know. I had a lot of good days.
Offer. The biggest thing is the offer, the invite, just to have the acknowledgement that you're still wanted, even though you're probably going to deny it and say no or decline and be like, I'm sorry, I can't. But it's still nice to have that there.
Totally. Yeah. And the last one on the list, which I think is pretty cool, motivate them. encourage them to
Mhm.
do what they need to do to get better, whether that's doing their exercises, going to physio, massage, chiro, wherever,
Mhm.
taking medications or eating more, or in my
Mhm.
case, less. If
Yeah.
you decide to help, remember that any love and support that you provide can make a big difference, whether it cheers the
Mhm.
patient up or frees up their time and energy so that they can focus on job number one,
Mhm.
which is getting better and living a great life. So I actually think that's a
Mhm.
really good list. Again, that's from
Yeah.
the MD Anderson Center. Um,
Mhm.
I I don't know. They kind of hit everything on the head. I wasn't sure about
Mhm.
all of them at first, but now that I've read through them,
Mhm.
like, yeah, I
Yep.
think so. I think those are
Mhm.
good.
I agree too.
I think the
Just
takeaway
being
is
honest.
basically just like let your friend know that you're thinking about them,
Yep. Mhm.
and it doesn't have to be like, for example, if you're not super close with the person, maybe you used to work together 5 years ago and you
Mhm.
still would love to see them in person, but you don't hang out all the time.
Mhm.
They're not saying, hey, you should go plan a surprise date with
Mhm.
this person. No, nothing like that.
Right.
But a meme, a message on Facebook, a text
Yeah.
saying, like, hey, you're in our thoughts. Like, I hope you're feeling good, kind of thing. Like,
Mhm.
makes a world of difference.
It does. It does
Yeah.
because even like just doing that for anybody, really, even not just a sick person, doing
Mm-hmm.
it for
Really.
anybody,
Yeah. Because
it,
everyone's going through
it
something.
through something. Everyone has something in their life, but it's like it one little text or it could change somebody's day or mood. You know, even I would be posting all these motivational little stories and stuff like that, and I had
Mm-hmm.
people message me like, "Thank you, I needed to hear that
Really.
today." Yeah, and it's like I haven't done it lately because I haven't had energy. The last week I've just been
I
drained,
get that. Yeah.
but just doing those little things, it's not directed at anyone. It's just there, and somebody sees your story
Yeah.
and they're like, "Thank you," and I'm like, "You're welcome." you
Yeah,
know.
I quite often try to share motivational, and it's nice that the algorithm is now working in our favor. In that, I see a
Mhm.
lot of very motivational things, and a lot of it
Mhm.
is geared to people who've been sick or single moms or things like that.
Mhm.
I think it's so nice to be able to reshare because so many people will comment like just a heart on that, or like a clapping
Mhm.
hands, or thank you, I needed
Mhm.
this today, and you
Mhm.
don't realize like how
Nope.
impactful just the
Mhm.
smallest little thing can be on people.
That's true. Yep.
Mm. Well,
We
this
all
was a
got to
great
work
and
together,
quick. Yes, yeah, absolutely, we do. So this was
right?
a great, quick little episode here. It feels
Mhm.
nice to kind of regroup after that nonsense of earlier, and
Which I
yeah,
will
I'm
be
happy that.
going to the police.
And so you
Hopefully
should
they can.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, watch the episode. We'll have it posted. It just went live on YouTube. We will definitely post
Yeah.
it at some point again.
Mhm.
Just if you were curious to know what nonsense we're talking
What's
about, but like,
happening? Yeah.
don't give this person the time of day. They do not deserve it.
I know. It's sad.
Yes.
Well, thank you
Okay.
guys.
Well, like, subscribe, share Two Girls with
Yeah.
Cancer on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, although we have not posted anything on Facebook.
No,
YouTube,
absolutely.
Spotify, Apple, and our shows come out every Tuesday morning. It's never consistent time, it's just whenever I decide to post it. So
Yeah.
8 a.m., maybe 8 a.m. Mountain Time, roughly.
Yeah.
So check us out every Tuesday. And yeah, see you next time, I guess.
Bye, guys.
Have you ever had the urge to take off your shoes and socks and walk barefoot through the grass or the dirt or the water? Or have you ever wanted to just touch a tree? Well, I know you're thinking this is some hippy dippy stuff, but there's actually some science behind it. This is a practice called earthing or grounding, and it's incredibly healing to our bodies. The earth is full of free energy that our bodies really do want and need. By embracing the Earth's energy, we can help to lower our stress, inflammation, and even improve our sleep. Unfortunately, not all of us live in climates that allow all year long grounding, but luckily, with technology, we can get sheets that we can put on our bed that help us ground while we sleep. Head to groundingofficial.com to learn more and use discount code 2girlswithcancer to receive 15% off your order.